Hey guys, it's Pingu here with part 9 of the Dwarf Fortress tutorial. I will stop putting emphasis on the numbers, but it's getting up there. It really is. Now, the thing I did in the off-break is these tanners and leatherworks needs tanning and leatherworking, and I did not actually have a tanner and leatherworker. So, as you can see, I've just set some random guy to go do it, and we will now have our leather industry up and running, just like that. So you make leather by slaughtering animals, and we don't have a lot of animals to spare right now, but we need that leather armor just in case we get attacked. I will not get attacked anytime soon, but I went into the Z, the status, and with the animals, and I'm going to slaughter this cow down here because it looks like we have two horses. Even though one's a baby, it'll eventually grow up, and we can have more and more horses, and some kittens and puppies. You know, who cares? Let's let them live. But we slaughter it like that, and just like the meat industry, it will produce a bunch of meat that we can cook, but it will also produce some hide that will eventually go rotten. So we can't even use the hide that we produce later because it will rot, and they will take it outside once it does. So we've struck down this cow calf, and they are getting all the little bits and pieces. And while they do that, our soldiers also do not have any sort of weaponry. If you hit I on them, there's no weapons here, and they're also just wrestlers, which means they just grab people and throw them around. So go to your carpenter's workshop, and there's still one more bed that needs to be made, but we're going to make some training spears, some training swords, training axes. I'll just make one more sword, might as well, and some shields. Oh, that's an armor stand. I don't want to make an armor stand. I want to make a shield, a shield, a shield, and so we have a set of weapons and armor for them to get used to. It's wooden, and it's a training, so they will not be able to kill very much with them. But it's better than just wrestling bare hands and trying to disarm their enemies that way. I'm just building the beds. I've got. You see, I'm getting lazy. I'm getting all these tables and chairs stacked up. I'm not building them fast enough for our all the rooms I have here. And again, I've said this 1,000 times, and I don't know why I keep saying it, but do not play like me. I am trying to cover the basics. Do not have so many idle players and so many idle furniture. I just put an entire row there. It shows you how many idle furniture that has not been placed. I also haven't even put a stockpile here. I should do that at some point, but see, I'm just trying to show you the basics. When you kill an animal, it will automatically put a task to tan the hide down at your tannery, and that's good. So somebody will go get that hide, which is probably I think it might even be right there. That might be fat, or it might be no, never mind. See they're using it now. They're tanning the hide right now, and using this one hide, I can probably make one leather armor, just one breast piece of it. It shows you how much armor you really do need, because I have this leatherworks here, and I can make leather armor, leather dress, leather a lot of stuff here. But for a full set of armor, you want a leather armor, you want a leather leggings, a leather helm, leather high boots, and a leather shield or some sort of shield. But you see, there's a few things, and you can mix and match. Like you can have a helm with a cap underneath, and you can have gloves as well, and you can have a hood or whatever. Some of these are dress, and some of them are armor. We're just gonna make one thing of leather armor. Hopefully they do not cancel it right away because they don't know where the leather is. But it looks like they're already done with all these tables here. But as well, while we're waiting for the leather armor to be made, which this guy's doing, we want to cook some of this meat with our kitchen. Now, by default, just renders the fat, which is pretty useless, because that's just for soap. We will prepare easy meals, but by default, there are a lot of items we don't want prepared. So hit Z, and go to the kitchen tab, and you see here it will specify everything we're allowed to cook and everything we're not allowed to cook and everything we're allowed to brew. So we have a lot of cow meat that we can cook. We have some monkey meat, but you see the red things. We're not allowed to cook any of the seeds of these plants. You don't want to cook seeds, and you don't even really want to cook plump helmets in this case, because when you cook an item, you get rid of the seeds. Basically, you cook away the seeds. So you definitely do not want to cook any of these prickleberries or wild strawberries if you want to keep the seeds, but we've got so many plump helmets that right now we don't really even care if they cook it. You also do not want to cook in this case, you don't want to cook your wine, because they will cook alcohol in your kitchen, and just be sure every new type of alcohol you produce, check this screen, and just make sure they're not using your alcohol to cook, because sometimes you need that. If you're desperate, you can cook your alcohol, and you can make an entire meals just out of alcohol alone that turn into food. But see, we made the leather armor. If we go up here, you can see hit T, and there's a cow leather armor, and you see how one of our dwarfs already running down here. He's already picked it up. He is so eager to get that leather armor on. You see, when you assign a uniform, you don't have to worry about equipping them individually. So if we actually find, I think he had a spear, yeah, this guy, he's now wearing cow leather armor on his upper body. And it's basic value, it's very cheap, but it's effective for our level. Do we also have the wooden training spears? No, we don't have yet. My carpenter has been very lazy, and speaking about very lazy this entire lesson, we want to make a floodgate. Hit A and L. I cannot believe I haven't built a floodgate yet, because when back in lesson 2, we cut open this lake here, and the hole's still open. That will allow enemies of the state to get in. We could make a door here if we wanted. We could make a bunch of other things just to block it off. We could maybe even, let's not make a floodgate actually. Yeah, this is a good time to show you guys. Oh, all over the place. We cancel this floodgate, and we can build artificial walls in this game. You hit B, and you see how there's a lot of the stuff here that requires you to have built before, but if you actually go down and find wall, floor, and stairs, which is capital C, there's a bunch of what could be made when you carve into the world. Like, you can make a bunch of these things by the designations menu, but some of them you cannot. So if I wanted to make an up staircase, say in the middle of my hallway here, hit U and try to make an up staircase, there's nothing there because there is no stone to dig into. So you need to use this build menu to build anything that you've already dug out. So I need to put a wall there. I hit W for wall, and I'll put a wall there, choose what sort of material, and they will go construct an artificial wall. You can do this with a bunch of things, and it's sometimes required if you accidentally misdig. I should not be covering this in part 9, again, all over the place, but hopefully you haven't messed up too badly so far, and it doesn't even matter because you just have an open area. It just means it just means that some goblins could walk down and get into our little pond area and sneak into our farm. But that should be all for now. Before the break, we will do the mandatory little building of random things. We'll build a trade depot, which should be capital D. Yeah, capital D. It's 5x5, and we're building this room we made for it. I'm using gypsum just so it looks nice and yellow. We'll cover that later when the first trade caravan comes along. But until then, I will see you later.